Good morning. We are live. We've got a few minutes before the market opens. That'll give people a chance to get in here and see what we've got going on. If you've got any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. I will try and answer them if we're live. If you don't, if you want to make a comment afterwards, I will go back and look and address it in my live streams. All right, so let's just see what we've got going on. It's been another kind of Midland to down week and day. Not good for me, really. We're down 600 so far today. We'll see what happens when the market opens and the options values get adjusted in. But we're going to do some rolling. We're going to do some adjusting positions. And hopefully we'll pick up a couple $100 today, because that's the goal. Every day, pick up $200 in premium. My theta is super high right now, as you can see. The theta is 1100. That's much higher than normal because the volatility in the market is high. So let's jump in here. We've got ZB. This is the September expiration of the futures contract, and we're trading an August option on that at 108. It's at 110. Let's just jump in on that and look at the IV rank is 14, which isn't super high for a bond, but it is high. Your expected move is this brown ruler here. And what you'll see over here is your IV rank is 12%, plus or minus 0.75 or 3/4 of a point. We do have a Fed meeting today. They are expected to leave the interest rate the same. If they were to change it, then that would move. So right now, we're trading the August contract, and we're at 14. I'm not going to touch that. I've got that set to close if it reaches, what do I have that at? If it reaches 7. We're also trading the September call and put contracts. I thought we set those to close. Let's see, we don't have orders in those. We should have closing orders. Okay, we've got a buy to close on the 115, and we sold this at 17, so we were going to put the closing order at 9. So let's jump in there for the September options, and we're just going to put a buy to close at 9. If you haven't watched this before, bond futures can be a little bit, I may have just forgot to click good till canceled. They can be a little bit confusing because bond futures are done in 64ths of $1,000. So nine ticks, 9 handles, whatever you want to call it, would be 9 times 15.62. All right, that is in. Let's check our next position is Amazon. Amazon, the 245 put at September we rolled out. It's in the money. We do need Amazon to go up. It's going down. I am holding these Amazon shares. I bought those at 256. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to roll this 260 out. We're at almost 21 days. We're at 23. But we're going to go ahead and roll that out to the next month. So we're going to buy to close at $2. And then we're going to roll it out to the September 3rd Friday of the month. And we sold at 260, so we're just going to sell right back at 260. We pick up $1.82. We were at $2.370. I want it to fill. I'm going to start at $1.80, and then we'll creep it down towards that $1.70. But we're going to make $170 on that trade. Oh, filled immediately. We're in. So all we're doing is rolling that call out another month. We're picking up more theta, more extrinsic value in that. Next, Google. I am holding Google at 370. Let's look if we can get a September trade for Google at 370 that is helpful. We can sell that for $4. We're going to go ahead and sell that. I'm going to go a little bit above try and sell this for $455. Boom, filled that. So what that means is I own 100 shares of Google. I paid $370. I am basically selling a contract that will allow someone in September to buy Google from me at $370. It's outside the expected move, but someone is willing to pay $450 for that. So let's just, first off, let's look at what it cost me to hold that Google in buying power. Because it's a margin account, normally it would be 100 times the cost of the stock or whatever you paid for it. So if I bought that stock today, it'd be 100 times 334, so 33,000. But because this is a margin account, it is taking $8,396 of my buying power, and I sold that for $455. So 51 days out, just do 51 divided by 7. We're at 7 weeks and change, and we're making $455 on 8,396 in buying power. 5% in 7 weeks, 5.4. It's a little bit below my target, but not everything is going to reach my target. Some stuff is a little bit better, some stuff is worse. Hood, we're out to September. That's down a little bit, but we got plenty of time. All right, QQQ. Where are we at with QQQ today? It looks like it's creeping up. I'm not going to take a chance because I do all of this in about 15 or 20 minutes and then I'm done. So I'm going to roll my QQQ options out. So we're going to go in here, and first thing I'm going to do is cancel my existing order, and that'll cancel both. So I'm going to buy back the 680, and it looks like it's on its way up, but I just don't have, I don't want to sit here all day and watch it. And if it drops after this Fed meeting, take the risk. So I just want to roll it out. So I'm going to buy the 680. I'm going to buy to close. I'm going to go down to the 640. And that is almost worthless. And I'm going to sell that one to close. I'm going to roll out 7 days. And I'm just going to make the same trade. 680, sell the 680, and buy back the 640 and see if it's profitable for me to do that. And buy back the 640. So sell the 680, buy the 640, same risk profile. I'm picking up on a $4,000 risk. I'm picking up a new $457 in credit. So that's $450 profit. And let's see what that spread is. It's 439, 466. Let's make that a nice 450. Boom. Rolled that out, picked up another $450 in premium. And now we are not at risk there. I'm going to set that to close. So I'm going to basically set a closing order for $2. We picked up 4. Goals to make 200 every day. So I'm going to set that to close at $2. If it bounces up, great. If not, we'll roll and defend. We'll just carry, we'll roll. I feel like this market's bottoming out, but what the heck do I know? All right. That is done. Let's see what else we have next in the list of things we're trading. SLV, we still have that put. We're still sitting on shares, trying to kind of dollar cost average by selling puts, just taking time on that. SpaceX. All right, SpaceX has bounded up a little bit, even though it's showing down today. Let me pull that up on a chart. SpaceX has been all over the place. That's SPX, not SpaceX. All right. SpaceX. SPCX went down. Let's just pull that chart in real quick here and we'll take a look. So SpaceX went down, bounced off that 108, bounced off that 107, and we're back up. So I've got 200 shares. I bought them at 121 and change, and I bought them at 145. So I sold the 122 and the 145. But what I'm going to do now is those expire Friday. SpaceX has a very large IV rank up here, 94. So it's high implied volatility, which means the options are worth more. My average price in SpaceX is 133.56. So what we're going to do, we're going to roll each one out individually. We're going to buy to close the calls. So we sold the calls. I'm going to buy the 145 back at 35 cents. And I'm going to roll out to August 7th. And I'm going to sell the 134 right here. I'm going to sell the 134 SpaceX. So I buy the 145 from this week, sell 9 days out at 134 for 520, 530. We're making $5 on this, and we're bringing things to the average, right? So we're right at the average, just over where I paid. So we're picking up $500 for the week. And let's see if that trades. We're just gonna creep that down a little bit until we get into a spot that it's filled. $10 here or there amongst friends isn't gonna hurt us. Looks like it's moving the other direction on me. There we go. We got filled at 481. So $481 to roll that down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the 115. I'm sorry, the 122 here. We're at 115. We're looking at the 122. We're going to buy that for 195. Now, before I do that, let's just look at SpaceX here. I sold this 122 6 days ago for $345, and it's worth $190. So it's taking up this much buying power for 200 shares. So we'll call it approximately $6,000 in buying power for 100 shares. So currently in this week, we made 345 minus 175. We'll call it the high end of the 180. We made 165 in a week off of $6,000. 2.75% is how much we made. That's already profit taken. And we're going to roll that out for another week. Hey, thank you very much. Hey, Brent. We're selling covered calls on Google about the same price or your entry. What is the time frame on the call? Okay, I'll get to that one next. I'm going to buy to close the 122 on Google. I'm going out to the 134, which is where I'm average my price at. Sell the 134. We're picking up $323. Let's see if that fills. Let's give it a little bit. There we go. We filled at 318. So now we have two different shares sold to covered calls on SpaceX. Let's look at Google for Brent. Okay, what I'm doing on Google, I am running out. The goal is to run out 7 weeks, 45 days on Google. But instead what I did is I ran out a little bit further, 51 days. And the reason is the third Friday is the natural expiration on options, the third Friday. And so this is a margin account, but I ran out the third Friday on Google and I ran out to 370, which is what I ended up paying for this. And the reason I did that is if you notice on further out options, especially on these larger valued stocks, the increments are in 5. And what they're going to do is they're not going to open up the smaller increments, like 369, until a month out. So I like to keep it at the $5 or $10 levels because there's more volume in that to trade. So basically, if you look at, say, August 21st, which is the third Friday, you're going to see 250 levels. If you look at July 29th, you may not use. Okay, so they're splitting it at $2.50 as opposed to $1 because the value's so high. But right now, we only have $5 levels. So I like to keep the $5 levels, and I'm selling out about 45 days. I rounded up as opposed to rounding down. And in this case, the market cap that it requires for this margin account on Google is, let's scroll back down there, is 8,396. So we'll call it 8,400 because it's a margin account. If it wasn't, it would cost you much more than that. Try and put this in a spot where we can see it and I'm not taking up the whole screen. But we sold that for $445 and it's taking $8,396 in buying power. So 5.3% profit in about 7.5 weeks. So once again, not my target, but thank you very much for the question. Does that answer your question, Brent? If so, shoot me a thumbs up. If you have another question, let me know. I'm going to finish up with what we've got. We're looking at Tesla. Tesla's at 304. We've got a 295, 285 spread. That's fine. It's out of the money. That's for 23 days away. And that was $1,000. So that is all my trades. Folks, that's it. We're in and out of the market in 15 minutes today. In and out of the market in 15 minutes. And what you'll notice is we are still down. The market's all over the place. SpaceX going down again. That's okay. We rolled when it was up. QQQ about the same. This right now, it doesn't look great. Probably a bad week for me to show all this, but it doesn't look great, but it is growing and we're just building premium. As the market rebounds, so will this. And the whole idea is just continue to build premium, defend the positions, roll them out and down if you need to, and just basically scrap along and pick up this theta. That's what I'm looking at. My delta's super high. The delta, if you had a balanced delta, it would be 0. My delta's never balanced. I'm overall bullish on the market still, but if I should bring my delta down a little bit. My theta is way higher than I need because volatility's up, but that's okay. These are the days, and what that means is every day I'm making to $831 in premium. This number is going to move up and down, but the theta decay, the decay on the value of my options every day, they decay, and I'm selling premium, right? So that's the whole idea, is to sell premium and have theta in your favor. That theta is burning off at the rate of $840 a day. That's where I make my money in the long run. And something must have reversed because we were down 800, now we're down 400. But thank you very much. I don't see another question from Brent, so I think I might have answered his question, or he had to go back to work or take a phone call. But if you like what you see, do me a favor, click the like, click the subscribe, and always post your questions down below and we will review it. If you have a separate stock that you think is cool, put it in there, we'll take a look. I'm showing what I do for people so that they can learn. This is not a recommendation to make these trades, but this is something I believe in learning through doing. And so my idea is, if I can show you what I do, then maybe you can learn from it. So thank you very much, and I will be back on again tomorrow at 9:30.